Hey, it's me, Joe Barnard. So this is a candid video. This is not going to be public. This is just for patrons only. First of all, thank you so much for supporting on Patreon. That is how all of this stuff happens. You know that already. You're well aware. I'm making this video because I promised weekly updates on Patreon, and I don't know if you've been paying attention, but man, I have missed that mark several times. So I want to try to change it up to make it at least easier for me to sit down in front of a camera, maybe make it a better format for people to read. Not a lot of people seem to read the text posts, so let's just try this out. I'm going to do some candid videos as updates. Please let me know what you think, if this is better or worse than the text post. Would you rather read something on your computer or look at my face while I move my mouth? Anyway, let's get into a couple of updates for patrons of like what's been going on with the program, what do we have that's new, what's coming up. The first thing, if you follow me on Twitter, you don't have to, by the way, but if you follow me on Twitter, I've been talking about this thing called Operation Thump. And so this is what that is. This is a 4-inch diameter tube. It's just a cardboard tube. It's actually the same material that Thrusty.space is cut from. You can see a pretty rough cut up here from when I was actually building it before. There are more tubes coming in the mail. This is just a test article. This is not the actual flight article. Anyway, the idea behind Operation Thump is that it's a silo-launched model rocket. So what happens is the rocket sits inside this tube, and at the very bottom of the tube we have, we have this piston here. This is a pretty serious piston where when you pressurize in the inlet in the bottom, it pushes up the, actually like the piston cylinder, or I don't know how you all know how pistons work. I don't have to explain this. The piston sits at the bottom of this silo right here. Oh geez, this is a mess. This is a very candid video. I wonder if this will contribute to people liking it or not. Anyway, the piston sits at the bottom. We have a lot of parts to design for this. I have them all listed on the whiteboard right now. So we have, I need to design raceways for all of the cables to go up and down this launch tube. I need to design a bunch of valve holders, a tank holder. This is a guy wire mount to actually secure the piston, or secure the launch tube completely upright. So we're going to tie it down at the launch site. I need to design a silo cover. I'm going to have a servo actuated like kind of silo cover for it. It's going to be pretty cool, and honestly the thing I'm most excited about for it, it's like a pretty standard rocket that will launch from it. It'll just be TVC or RCS stabilized. The most exciting thing is just the sound it's going to make when it launches, because there's a bunch of valve actuations, and it's going to be really cool. So that's Operation Thump. That's what I've been talking about. I have just about all the parts. This is going to be the same flight tank as the reaction control system that actually pressurizes the cylinder for Operation Thump. Anyway, that's what's coming up there. The reaction control system and Echo are still moving along. Those are going pretty slowly since I have updates on those pretty recently on the channel. So most of my focus has been on Operation Thump and trying really hard to get the BLOP board to communicate with its IMU. So I haven't posted a landing model rockets video in a little while, and it's because I'm still trying to troubleshoot issues that I'm having talking with that I2C device on the board. Anyway, if you're curious, that's why that's been kind of late. That said, the BLIP board still works pretty well. Honestly, most people seem interested in BLIP rather than BLOP. BLIP, once again, is the PCB. You know what? Let me just get them. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so this is BLIP and this is BLOP. I'll put them a little closer. Well, hold on. I can just focus the camera. This is BLIP and this is BLOP. These are basically assembled PCBs that should work on their own. Oh, now I have to refocus. That should be about right. Anyway, so the BLIP board is working really well. The BLOP board is having a lot of trouble communicating with that IMU. So, you know, I think we're just going to see. We're just going to see how that works. I might have to do some redesigns on the schematic for this, and that's basically why the delay is there for the next Landing Model Rockets episode. The other thing that's coming up is another flight of the Scout vehicle. There's a video that I haven't posted yet on the hot staging flight, still troubleshooting a couple things with the data from that. But once that's posted, we will do another flight of the Scout rocket, which is back over there, on the Aerotech H13 motor. That's going to be really cool. We're going to hold the vehicle down for about 1.5 seconds to get rid of that thrust spike at the beginning of the burn. and then it's gonna burn for like, what is this one? This is another 17-second burn. It's gonna be really cool. Yeah. Anyway, what else is going on? The Signal R2 TVC kit just closed out its last sales round, so I'm not selling any more Signal kits. I'll give you guys a quick window into what's going on with that. This is not really a public thing, so I feel comfortable just sharing it on Patreon. Essentially, for the last several months, I've spent maybe like 70% of my time on Signal. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, this is becoming a common theme in my videos, but I just got a delivery. I love that Apogee. This is a delivery from Apogee Components. So these are the Thump tubes. These are the replacements for this lower quality tube that I'm using for testing. But I love that Apogee puts what I write in the thing. Please leave this at front door if not home. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to open this quite yet because they're just tubes. What I was saying earlier is that for the last few months I've been spending about 70% of my time doing customer service support for the Signal kits. The thing with Signal is it's actually really disappointing. It's just very, very difficult to get thrust vector control to work, even if you have a kit that simplifies a lot of the control stuff. And so a lot of folks, like Signal cannot work when the rocket moves very, very quickly. And that, I thought that would be intuitive for folks, and it really wasn't. So, you know, a lot of the flights that people tried with Signal ended up not working, and they were frustrated because their thrust vector control system wasn't working, when in reality, it's just only built for low and slow models because going high and fast with TVC is not really doable at the model scale, or at least with an unstable vehicle. Other problems, you know, they're just like, it's just very hard to run a hardware-based company. So I was spending most of my time on that when really the thing that I think creates the most impact and helps the most people are these videos. And it's certainly the thing that gives me the most satisfaction. So that's sort of why I've made this decision to take Signal offline and move, basically just double down on the videos. The reason I brought this up initially in this video right here was because we're going to do a big website overhaul with a bunch more information on there about how you can get started, like what you can do it like with your local NAR chapter, just lots of good information on there, excuse me. That's coming soon. I have a new channel trailer in the works. The song is awesome. Most of the footage is like ready to go to cut together. I will definitely preview that for patrons before it goes live because, man, it's cool. So that's kind of what's going on. Those are the updates. Please let me know if you prefer this over the text post. Like genuinely, if you'd rather read something on Patreon, that's fine too. We can go back to that. I do think it will be easier for me to post this stuff more often if I can just talk in front of a camera. And you know, it's kind of friendlier too. Who knows? I can actually like show stuff too. I think there are a lot of benefits to this. So thanks again for watching. Thank you again so much for supporting. It's like the only reason that ridiculous projects like Thump can happen are because of folks like you. So if you have suggestions, if you have thoughts about who knows what, just leave them in the comments down below or on Patreon. Always happy to chat. So thanks a bunch, and I'll talk to you all soon. May your skies be blue and your winds be low. I have to end it all like that. Okay, bye.